Welcome back to DIY Dave and Company. I'm Laura, and I am going to can some tenderloin, which this is really exciting to me because up till now I'd always put it in the freezer and then things get lost in the freezer and I can't find it and it takes up so much room. So this is very exciting for me. I did a test batch, pretty good, very happy. Let's get started. I'm doing them in pints, wide mouth pints, which will be the perfect amount if it's just, like me for lunch or David and me. If I'm going to do a family, I probably need to use two, but that's okay. This was on sale at Food City for $2.99 a pound. It is normally $6.99 a pound. So I didn't go crazy, which I did think about, and the sale's still on, so you never know, may have to go back. Had them slice it for me. Had them do about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. So we've got nice, yummy looking tenderloin. I'm cold packing because I don't want to cook this first. I want to put it in the jar cold, which means my pressure canner is cold to begin with. And I'm just going to kind of pack this in. I'm not even worrying about counting how many pieces. I love this on a biscuit. Trying to get as much of the air pocket out, squishing it down. We love it fried, if I can get it fresh and I fry it, but I will tell you, pressure canning it when I do it in my Instant Pot, so tender. So we're just going to do some of these up. I am not going to add any water, and I'm going to try to keep it below the little line there. Try to have about an inch headspace. Now we are having so much fun with canning and the different things that we're learning. Last week they had sale on ground chuck. It was $1.99, and according to the paper, you could get 20 pounds, but because of the supply chain issue, they limited it to 2 packages per person. On the upside, my daughter, who's almost 21, she has her own value card, so I was able to get a little bit more by having her buy some. I'm sorry, does that not look wonderful? But I'm trying to really shop to the sales and what do I need in my pantry, what do I need in my storage, and that is all just getting very exciting. I had a little giggle moment the other day when I went down, and it was sort of like, oh, I am going to have to move those jars forward because I don't have a full row there. Alright, so one package is down, and that was about that was 2.5 pounds. And I'm just going to finish filling these up, and then we'll clean the rims, put on the lids and tops, and put them in. Oh yeah, and this is according to the Center for Food Preservation. You can meat. You need to do it in the pressure canner. and we will do it for 75 minutes. I remember reading Alas Babylon as a kid, and I remember the brother's wife, or I mean the brother, he went shopping because he knew what was going to happen, and he went and cleaned the meat out. He wasn't thinking about the refrigeration going out. So when his sister-in-law and niece, nephew, I don't remember, it's been so long, came, she looked at the meat, kind of laughed, and she got to canning. Small piece. I remember asking my mom about the Depression, and my mom wasn't born until, after 1940. But I remember asking her, and she's looking at me going, "Why do you think I would know what it was like?" And she directed me to Alas Babylon and said, it's not really the same, but yeah, it's a lot the same. The way you make do, the way you improvise. I think they had an armadillo or something in their garden. Well, that night they had armadillo. Alright, that one's going to be too much, so I think, can I get a littler piece? There we go. Which, if you've not read Alas Babylon, I would highly recommend it. It is a marvelous book. Yeah, I'm going to have 6, about 3 per package. Love tenderloin, and getting it for $1.90. I mean, I'm sorry, $2.99 a pound. That was pretty awesome. And having them cut it for me just makes this a breeze. All I got to do is open it up and put it in. Time to wash the hands. And I've touched that with my hands without needing to be washed again. Just a little bit of vinegar to kind of wipe around the edges. I am using the wide mouth. Sauces and broths, which I've done, I'm great with the regular mouth, but I think for the meats, I think I want the wide mouth. Put that in. There it is. Nice and hot. Looks real pretty. I love it. I'm going to put this in the canner. And because I knew this wouldn't fill the canner up, I went ahead and prepared some more hamburger meat. Well, how about that? I'm going to run my pressure canner for 75 minutes. I'd like to do as much as I can. can get 8 in the bottom. And then I have these other 4 will go on top. So I am starting off with cold water. I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to take it to medium high. When I start getting a vent, that's when I'll put my weight gauge on it. So we have a little bit of time to wait. So once you go find that book, let's Babble and start reading it, and I'll be back in a few minutes to show you what we do next. Yay! I'm starting to vent. So I am going to set my timer for 10 minutes. And when the beeper goes up, we'll put our weighted gauge on. Our 10 minutes are almost up. I believe 15 seconds. So I have the weighted gauge. I took the one off, so I've got 5 pounds, 10 pounds of pressure. And then we will let it cook for 75 minutes for pint jars. 90 for quart, but 75 minutes for pint jars. So as soon as it gets up to pressure, we'll start our timer. So my weight is dancing. Now my pressure gauge is messed up. My dial gauge is messed up, so I have to go by my weighted gauge. And it's dancing, so that lets me know I'm at 10 pounds pressure. I'm going to set the timer for 75 minutes. And then we'll turn everything off and let everything just cool down naturally. And so I'll see you in a little bit. 75 minutes later, I just turned the heat off from the stove. I have let it go down to 0. My little nipple is down. So now I am going to take my weight off. I'm going to carefully open. And always opening away from you. And bring them out. I love watching them still be bubbling. And they're going to be in their own juices. And tomorrow I will take the rings off, check for these seals, wipe them down, and label them with the month and year, what it is. I forgot to put some salt and seasonings in, so I'll need to make sure to note that on the lid too, that these are unseasoned tenderloin, canned February of 2022. I am amazed at how easy this is, and can't believe I haven't done this before, but I can't believe I hadn't been canning before either. We're addicted to it. It is so much fun, and I love watching those shelves fill up downstairs. Knowing that if we had a power crisis, I have food that I can feed the family. And buying it at the very good sale price, shopping to the sales. Because I don't know what's going to happen next week or next year. But I'd rather buy a bunch of it at a cheaper price than have to pay more later. I think that's just economic sense. So this ought to do us for a while until they put it back on sale. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned something. I hear a ding. I love that. And I hope you'll come back. Leave some comments down below. Have you ever canned meat? What did you can? And was it successful? I will tell you these. I added just a little bit of salt. I poured the liquid and the meat into a bowl, just a little bit of salt, heated it up in the microwave, and it was delicious. Very tender, just falling apart tender. But let me know what you've tried. What is your favorite thing to can? And don't be afraid to try. A life lived in fear is a life half lived, so give it a try. Biggest thing is have fun with it. Make sure you're double checking with Ball or with the Center for Home Food Preservation on your times and your altitudes for how much pressure and how long. But I'll tell you, both my husband and I were a little nervous of this pressure canner, and now it's so easy. So we're having a blast. Well, I said I hope you've enjoyed, and I certainly hope you'll come back to DIY Dave and Company. Don't forget to check out our other channel, CrazyDavesCrew, where you never know what's going to happen there. But our contests, sewing, just lots of crazy stuff going on over there. So be sure to check that out. We really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time right here on DIY Dave and Company. Thanks for watching.